The graduating class is asked each year to select one of their fellow graduates to speak on their behalf. This individual must attempt to capture and communicate the graduating group's shared experience at St. Francis Xavier. The decisive nature of the election results for this year's valedictorian confirms the confidence which the graduates hold in the ability of their choice to meet this task. I certainly share their confidence and am pleased to introduce the valedictorian for the 2011 commencement exercises, Joe McGuire.
Well, that was unexpected. Good morning, members of the board, teachers, parents, families, and a big shout out to everyone out there wearing the gowns today. It is truly an honor for me to be standing here representing the 2011 St. Francis Xavier graduating class. The past 2 years have raced by, but they have helped shape each of us into the talented and humble young adults you see before you. We are ready to take on the future. Today, my friends, is all about history, memories, and first evers. We are, and always will be, the first graduating class. When we think about today, our graduation can be summed up in a few key words. Let's start with motivation. When I think back to last year, I'm reminded of something Mr. Atkinson said in his first address to the student body. He explained, we were the only school in Ottawa with no identity, no reputation, and no tradition. I have to say, it didn't exactly sound like a ringing endorsement from our leader. However, he went on to clarify his statement. It was up to us, the students, to help create our identity on this brand new canvas. Fortunately for everyone here, my artistic skills would not be required for this work of art. If you've ever seen my drawings, you know what I mean. However, each one of us was needed if the picture would ever start to take shape. It cannot be denied that practically every one of us was feeling a little homesick on the first day back in September of 2009. The early start was a tough sell, no matter how you slice it. Teenagers getting up at what time? Say what now? Well, it was impossible not to be impressed with this brand new facility. It would take some time for the new house to be considered a home. As the sounds of hammering and the sights of construction workers lessened, the building started to feel much more comfortable. A big improvement over the narrow hallways of our former schools. My new locker had no dents or holes poking through to the staff room, like my locker at Pius. Our new gyms and weight rooms were missing a certain fragrance of years of sweaty gym classes, ancient equipment, and dust. The science and tech labs were state-of-the-art. The stage and music rooms were perfect. And yet, we were missing something. This was especially evident in our classes and in the lunchroom. The Lions sat with the Lions. The X-Men sat with the X-Men. And the Irish, they sat with the Irish. Those were hard times for the Coyote who was waiting to emerge. There's a saying around here that the strength of the Coyote is the pack. Some of us here went looking for that pack in the weight room with Mr. Jennings, the six-pack. At this point, our school identity was desperately in need of the Coyote pack. Now, this leads me to my second point for today, inspiration. In mid-September of 2009, a group of grade 11 boys would come together under the guidance of their dedicated and patient coaches, Mr. Loy, Mr. Jameson, and Mr. McGuire, to help bring the pack to life. In just its first season, the senior boys soccer team would take the league by storm and capture the city championship. we would go on to enjoy the first of 2 appearances at OFSA. It has given us a lifetime of memories. One of the benefits we were given was a chance to try out a new career, interior decorating, with shaving cream. How our coaches survived taking us on 2 road trips to Windsor is a minor miracle. Perhaps Mr. Loy says it best. Shocking. For those of us lucky enough to be part of these teams, soccer would unite us as brothers and make us Coyotes forever. Later last year, the senior boys lacrosse team would also capture the city championship. The winning would continue this year for our graduates in basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, and many other sports. The Coyotes were on the prowl and hungry for success. This feeling would also spread to other levels of the school, from drama to music to art. Just this year, Dr. Faustus, the Arts Appreciation Night, and our first annual coffee house showcased the amazing talent which has grown here at St.Fx in a very short 2 years. Somewhere in all of these inspirational and memorable activities, St. Francis Xavier became our home, and Coyote pride began to flourish. Along with this pride came a spirit of generosity. Thanks to the efforts of people like Mr. Bars and Sister Shelley, our school has become an active and fundraiser for social justice activities like helping the needy in our community, supporting our sister school in El Salvador, and helping those suffering from the earthquake in Haiti, just to name a few. With the gratitude tree and liturgies, we are inspired to focus on the most important reason for being at any of our Catholic schools, our faith. Along with motivation and inspiration, today is all about celebration. We have begun to establish some great traditions since arriving here at St.Fx 2 years ago. It might be said that trying to get students to participate in school events last year was like pulling teeth for our student council. Just ask last year's dentists, presidents, Dr. Michelle Corman and Dr. Deborah Paul. However, one event last year that would mark a significant growth in school spirit was a world record-breaking bear hug led by our principal, Mr. Curry. The rally before, which poked fun at our school, helped to develop a collective sense of humor. This year, with a much stronger sense of community, our student council, headed by Eric Rimac and Cassandra Zanetti, organized great events like the Oscars and Casino Night. I had the pleasure of attending the leadership camp this year, and it was a blast. And then there was the work of our athletic council, who helped to organize the Coyote Prowl and athletic banquets. And how about the prom committee, who worked so hard to present the first ever St.Fx prom. The location was amazing, and the night went beyond everyone's expectations. The evening allowed us to celebrate the end of our high school days. Of course, today, we are enjoying the final part of this stage of our lives, the first graduation here at St. Francis Xavier. We have much to celebrate. Every graduation has my next word, appreciation. Behind every lesson, every team, every liturgy, every event, every club or activity, every school trip can be found dedicated members of our staff who prepared us, coached us, organized us, and supported us all the way. When we look back over these 2 years, we can easily see the faces of staff members who had given up their time and energy to make our successes possible. We even had a small group of saints in the Student Services Department who worked extremely hard to keep us on track, whether we liked it or not at times. No school in Ottawa has a more dedicated group of members working for them. We have indeed been fortunate, and we owe them a great deal. Graduates, please join me in showing them the appreciation they so well deserve. There's another group of people here today who are looking extremely relieved. They have been with us from our first steps back to our first days of school in '97, and they have continued to be there for us ever since. You have been, and continue to be, our lights, our teachers, our fans, our personal chefs, our bankers, our chauffeurs, our therapists, and our friends. How can we possibly thank you for all the years of support and love? Please don't stop now. It has been said that high school graduations are extremely difficult for parents. You come here today as parents, and in some ways, after 18 long years, you will be leaving unemployed. I think this is a little harsh. If we have anything to say about it, you won't be receiving your 2 weeks' notice anytime soon. All kidding aside, we hope that as we move forward, we can honor your wisdom and guidance. Graduates, please stand and join me in applauding our parents and families. Last but not least, your time in school required something very crucial to make things work. Each of us needed friends. Friends we could count on for a good laugh, for a helping hand, for loyalty, for trust, for encouragement. St.Fx has allowed us the opportunity to make new connections. As I reflect over the past 2 years, I realize just how much I will miss having the opportunity to see all of you each day to share a laugh, or a good story, or even be teased about being a Boston Bruins fan, who, by the way, did win the Stanley Cup this year. Sure, we live in a connected world with cell phones and Facebook, but somehow, spending time with friends and working with each other during spares seems irreplaceable. We are all going to miss those times. My final word for today is application. So what is application? We are now at the point in our lives where we will need to apply all the things that we have learned in the last 18 years to help us find the right path. I struggled for hours to come up with words of wisdom to share with you today. I looked up impressive philosophical quotes about life and success from brilliant writers. Then I tried coming up with my own deep thoughts. Some of you might say, Joe, what advice can a guy who's only 18 give us? A valid question. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I was talking with one of my oldest friends, Brendan Camelato. He pulled out his phone to play a game that has seen a huge resurgence in popularity this year. If you haven't guessed already, it's Pokemon. Back in grade 2, Brendan's ultra cool Pokemon pencil was the start of a great friendship. Unlike many of the great fads that have went and come over the years, Pokemon has somehow managed to survive it all. Kind of like us. So I thought, is there anything about Pokemon that can apply to each of us today? I say absolutely. For starters, we'll need to be confident and understand the power that's inside. We are going to need to prepare for trouble because we'll need to face every challenge along the way with courage. We will need to make sure that we don't miss the chance to travel across land, searching far and wide for knowledge and opportunities. We will need to make sure that we evolve through experience in our battles to avoid getting stuck at lower levels of strength. We need to learn from each other because, like the song says, you'll teach me and I'll teach you. If Pokemon's a metaphor for life, the harder we train and work, the closer we will become to being the Pokemon masters of our destiny. Graduate, it has been an amazing 2 years. As we leave today, stay motivated to learn, be inspired to be better, celebrate whenever possible, appreciate what you've been given, and keep on applying what you have learned. That way, you can be the very best, like no one ever was. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I would now call upon Alana Boucher, Chairperson of the Graduation Committee at St.Fx Xavier, to thank our valedictorian.
Thanks, Joe. Joe embodies all of the qualities that one would expect in a quintessential St.Fx student. He has helped create the spirit of what being part of the Coyote Pack truly means. He is humble, dynamic, charming, talented, intelligent, and caring.